Hey, come see us in Ashland, Virginia, Athens, Georgia, Rutherford, New Jersey at the Icarus Festival, and Minneapolis, Minnesota. Go to jimmydore.com for a link for tickets. Here is everyone's favorite Hillary Clinton.
Do you believe the conspiracy that it's Lindsey Graham in a wig? Because that was said in the comments. Steph read it, and now I dismissed it, but now I don't know.
I feel good that I'm doing this literally a block or two down the street from the Hollywood Improv, where every fucking comedian there adores her and hates me for telling people the truth about her.
She's an ambitious woman that did what she had to.
That's right.
Which is cover up some rapes and murders.
So they asked her about the Gaza conflict, and here's what she had to say.
First of all, I have had many conversations, as you have had, with a lot of young people over the last many months now. And you're right, they don't know very much at all about the history.
As I drank their blood.
Really? The kids at elite institutions don't know the history? Really? Then why does it cost so fucking much money to go there? And they don't even know about Clinton era history? They don't even know about that.
Pretty recent history.
That's what's just recent. Okay, here she goes on.
Of the Middle East, or frankly about history in many areas of the world, including in our own country. But with respect to the Middle East, they don't know that under the bringing together of the Israelis and the Palestinians by my husband, the then Israeli Prime Minister Ehud Barak, the then head of the Palestinian Liberation Organization, then the Palestinian Authority, Yasser Arafat.
So there's Hillary, there's Bill, there's Ehud Barak, you know, pretty much the whole gang from Epstein Island. Yeah, geez, so many ums. Here we go.
We signed the Epstein Accords while eating a baby.
Hey, college kids might be ignorant of history, Hillary, but they're not ignorant of technology, so they can Google every fucking lie you're telling right now, okay? Which is what I encourage them to do. Here we go.
An offer was made to the Palestinians for a state on 96% of the existing territory occupied by the Palestinians, with 4% of Israel to be given to reach 100% of the amount of territory that was hoped for. And this offer was made, and if Yasser Arafat had accepted it, there would have been a Palestinian state now for about 24 years. It's one of the great tragedies of history that he was unable to say yes. My husband has a book coming out later this year, Joe, in which he talks about how Arafat kept saying he intended to agree.
First of all, thank God you guys could monetize the fucking tragedy of what's happening right now. But here we go.
He wanted to agree, but he was, as you rightly point out, pretty sure he'd be killed because, Sadat was killed by extremists when he made peace with Israel. Our dear, dear friend, Yitzhak Rabin, was killed by a radical Israeli when he was pursuing the two-state solution. So this is a very important piece of history to understand if you're going to take any kind of position with respect to what's going on right now. And there's much more.
Well, the weird thing is the person who contradicts her turns out to be Bill Clinton himself. Bill Clinton says Netanyahu killed the peace process. Who's to blame for the continued failure of the Middle East peace process? Well, former President Bill Clinton said today that it is Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu whose government moved the goalpost upon taking power and whose rise represents a key reason there has been no Israeli-Palestinian peace deal. Clinton is so that's who contradicts her. So they just want to rewrite history. And just Aaron Mate, by the way, has said that the deal Aaron Mate, everybody loves Aaron Mate.
The Jew Aaron Mate.
The Jew. Jew Aaron Mate says the deal he offered Palestinians would not have given them 96 to 97% of the West Bank. It would have given Israel all of its major West Bank settlement blocks, making a Palestinian state there impossible. He says Palestinians would have gotten compensating land in Israel. He omits that he proposed giving Palestinians 1% of Israel land in exchange for Israel taking 9% of the West Bank, a ratio in Israel's favor of 9-1. Well, that's because they're good Jew negotiators. That's what I say. Anyway, also, the Palestinians' land that Israel wanted to steal was far more valuable, containing West Bank's key water reserves. And this is all confirmed by U.S. negotiator Robert Malley in his book and a veteran Israeli negotiator, Ron Pundak. So this is not fucking debatable, but what happens on MSNBC is Hillary Clinton and the Zionists are allowed to go on and fucking lie over and over and over, and they'll never bring on someone like Aaron Mate or even Bill Clinton to push back against those fucking bullshit lies, because that's what you have to do to be a Zionist. You have to fucking lie constantly, and that's what they do in Zionism.
Whoa, Jimmy, before you get on your high horse, we murdered a lot of people too.
Yeah, it makes sense that Israel was getting 9-1. They tend to love those numbers, you know what I'm saying?
So let me that sounds like an anti-Semitic trope. But let me just show you a video here. So this is when that same argument that Hillary Clinton just made on MSNBC, she made it on Joe Scarborough's show. That same argument that they were offered a peace deal and they fucking turned it down, and that's why we have to slaughter their children. So this was made before.
Or as hell, Jimmy.
This was made before by Joe Scarbrough, and who did he make it to? He made it to Zbigniew Brzezinski, who is his current wife's father, right? So this is before they were married. He said the same shit to Zbigniew Brzezinski.
Zbigniew.
What is it?
Zbigniew Brzezinski.
Whatever the fuck that name is.
I didn't know. I thought you got it right.
You guys sound really anti-Semitic.
It sounds good. Zbigniew. You just go Zbig. That sounds good. Zbigniew. Anyway.
Hey, look, I just want to pork your daughters, Zbigniew.
So here's what Zbigniew had to say to Joe Scarborough when Joe Scarborough made this exact same argument. Watch this.
Brzezinski, you and I both know Bill Clinton gave Arafat and the Palestinians everything
you
they could have wanted.
Such a stunningly superficial knowledge of what went on that it's almost embarrassing to listen to you.
Oh, is it?
If you were to look more closely at what happened in the Clinton Camp David discussions, you would know that what you have just said is absolutely wrong. There were all sorts of provisions and catches to the so-called proposal, and it wasn't rejected. The negotiations went on in Taba, and then there were elections in Israel, and Sharon came in, and everything got aborted. In the last 8 years, we had a policy in which we have proclaimed an interest in peace. Gandhi Rice has traveled 16 times in 21 months to the region, proclaiming, you must do this, you must do that, but the United States never exerted itself. So the issue that Obama faces, and that's a question that you raised, is, are we going to be sitting there issuing condemnations, whether it's of Hamas or Israel or anybody else, or are we going to be seriously engaged in the peace process? That is the question.
We have another block, and I'm very excited.
Okay, yeah.
Wow, he had to later suck Zbignew's dick at an Eyes Wide Shut party.
So I don't know if you heard what he said at the top. He said, your understanding of this process is so superficial, I'm almost embarrassed for you.
He said, Joe, you ignorant slut.
That's what he said.
And that guy is a piece of shit, by the way. It's amazing.
But even him, he could put...
Dude, you see, Kissinger sounds reasonable. The pieces of shit of history are like good people compared to these fuckers we got now.
Compared to the people we have now. That's right. So,
but it was funnier than the Tiffany Haddish clip.
That's fair. That is fair.
But let's let him say you're superficial.
It went on that it's almost embarrassing to listen to you.
It's almost embarrassing to listen to.
And by almost, I mean it is embarrassing.
That's my favorite part. All right, so let's go. We gotta end.
What is real crazy is that how much Bill Clinton worked really hard for Israel that just had blackmailed him with the Monica Lewinsky stuff. That's all coming out right now.
Oh, probably worse than that.
Yeah. So it's like
Ehud Barak is an Epstein Island guy. You notice all the Epstein Island people around that time, or right when that peace deal fell through?
So you're telling me that Israel blackmailed Bill Clinton with the Monica Lewinsky shit?
Yeah.
So why did that come out then?
It has come out.
No, I'm saying it came out in real time, like in 1999. It happened.
Yeah, I think they had multiple.
Well, because anything with Israel back in the day got just shut down. Any story that Mossad was blackmailing our president with fat chicks, suddenly everything gets real quiet, right?
So what did Bill Clinton do to make them expose that blackmail? Why didn't they?
Well, they were recording his phone calls, and he was phone sexing with her and saying some pretty shady shit.
No, but why did they? So my point is, the point of blackmail is you keep it hidden. So why did they expose it, right? So that's the question. That's a tough question.
Oh, so why did they let Monica Lewinsky come out that all that was happening?
Yeah, why did
all this? Well, now you're getting into the even deeper stuff.
I'll tell you why. The same
humiliation rituals and stuff like that.
Yeah, the same reason Diddy's domestic violence video came out, and not his other crazier videos. It's like we could just do this with this. If we bring out the real shit, you're in big trouble.
Oh, is that what that was?
You don't think they have multiple tapes of Clinton doing crazy shit?
There's levels in this shit. That's my opinion.
Here we're doing stand-up in Ashland, Virginia, Athens, Georgia, Rutherford, New Jersey, Minneapolis, Minnesota, Ontario, California, Irvine, California, Las Vegas, Davenport, Iowa, Chicago, Grand Rapids. Go to jimmydore.com for a link for tickets, and make sure you go to jimmydore.com and don't go to a second reseller. Not good.